Hello, there's Jack here at bakewithjack.co.uk, bringing your weekly bread making tip every single Thursday. This week I want to share with you my top 2 ways to improve your bread in terms of flavour, in terms of texture, in terms of shape. I've got 2 ways to improve it, and it's super easy. You ready? Let's do it. Okay, the way to improve your bread, number 1. This is the easiest way, right? As your dough is resting in the bowl, at the resting stage, after you've mixed it, after you've kneaded it, you've let it rest in the bowl. At that stage, if you can prolong that resting time for as long as possible, your bread is going to get better and better and better in terms of flavour and texture, because flavour develops and gluten develops even further after your hard work just by sitting in the bowl in the moisture for free. Yes, all you got to do is nothing. Okay, so take your bowl of dough after you've kneaded it, wrap it up in cling film, stick it in your fridge and leave it there for 24 hours, 48 hours. I've had one in the fridge for 6 days before, and it's been absolutely delicious when it came out. Bring it out after that time has passed, leave it on the side at room temperature for an hour and a half, let it come back alive. It never comes right back the way to room temperature, but it will warm up a little touch. Then shape it, then rest it, and then bake it. The second resting bit will take a little bit longer. 1, because the dough is cold, and 2, depending on how long you left it in the fridge for, it depends on how active the yeast now is. So keep your eyes peeled at that moment. After 24 hours, shouldn't take much longer anyway, really. Keep your eyes peeled, it's going to rise up nice and slow, and when you bake it, it's going to be absolutely wonderful. Okay, tip number 2, and this is for you regular bread bakers. If you're making bread once, twice a week or whatever, this is a simple way that I used to use. The first time I baked bread in a restaurant, actually, I used to regularly bake bread in a restaurant early morning, I used to use this tip to make everything better every single time, and this is how it goes. Every time you make a batch of bread, take a little piece of dough off your big dough mass. Take a piece of dough away, 100, 200 grams or whatever, and stick it in the fridge. Leave it there. Let it get old, okay? Give it a couple of days until your next bake, or whenever that is. It might be 4 or 5 days away, 6 days away. Leave it in the fridge until next time. Make your new dough at that point and add the other bit in. Add it in when you're putting the water in, the yeast in and all that stuff. When you're mixing it all together at the mixing stage, add that piece of old dough in. It will bring loads of flavour, loads of texture, loads of structure and loads of good stuff to your bread dough. Then at that point, let your dough rest. Take it out of the bowl, divide it up into what you're going to make, and take another piece. Take a piece at that point, 100, 200 grams, whatever, stick it in the fridge. Every single time you do bread, add that old piece, mix it up, take an old piece, put it in the fridge, add that old piece, mix it up, take an old piece, put it in the fridge, keep going and going and going. And every single batch of bread that you make is going to be more delicious. It's going to hold a real nice shape. It's going to have a real nice feel to the dough, silky, smooth, nice bounce. It's going to hold more and more air. It's going to have a real tasty flavour, and it's going to increase, it's going to make it way more delicious every single time. It's so easy. Just take a piece, stick it in the fridge. If you're a regular baker, that is the best thing to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a little go on these 2 tips and let me know how you get on. I'd love to hear how you get on with it and how much it improves your bread. Thank you so much. If you want to click like, please click like. Thanks for joining me every single Thursday for a bread making tip. If you got a question, stick it underneath. Put it here somewhere. Let me hear about it. Come and connect with me on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Send me your question. Send me a question and I'll get on top of it next week. Every Thursday I'm here. I look forward to seeing you next week.